I was never going to be a men's physique.
Didn't have much of an off season.
I like his physique better.
I'm always very energetic. I will have to put me as one of the greatest.
Mr. Olympia was won by the back.
In your opinion, for how many years or how many cycles you have to be on, or especially for testosterone use, in order for your body to stop naturally producing it?
This depends on the dose and the duration, okay? But as far as I remember, when I was 33, after my 30s, my testosterone was already low, that I was going on and off since I was 26. It depends if you follow PCTs in order to restart, how long you take between two cycles in order to recover, you know. Actually, testosterone shut-offs from day one, the HPDA, because it's this hormone that you produce. Unlike the other steroids that suppress to a greater or a lesser degree, but not as testosterone. So when a steroid produces estrogen, like Dianabol, for instance, or Deca, or other compounds that aromatize, is shut off. Now, the DHT derivatives that do not convert to estrogens, they shut to a lesser degree. Also, the androgenic activity is a factor if you suppress, or like Trenbolone, halotestin, suppress more than other drugs. And also the Deca and the Tren that elevate prolactin also is a negative factor. I guess depends how early you started. So if you start in your 20s, I guess by your mid-30s, you're going to be toasted. And you're going to need TRT. It's going to be inevitable. I've seen low testosterone in kids, in young men or below 30s, which is below 50%, but it was due to stress and to other environmental reasons, you know. And I've seen good testosterone people over 50, you know, who never took care, of course. But I guess to bodybuilders who retire, I guess in their 40s is going to be a fact. Then I need TRT for sure.
If you're not using any steroids at all, how likely is it for you to become low testosterone?
Actually, no, it depends.
Under 30.
It's very rarely, you know. Now, if you use other drugs like opiates, narcotics, of course, you know, a lot of ethanol, alcohol, along with marijuana, you know. Stress, a lot, insomnia. If you are an animal party, you have cortisolemia that suppresses testosterone. We have to know testosterone is synthesized during at night, area sleep, and before midnight. That's why you need to sleep at night. People who stay up all night have low testosterone. And overtraining also elevates cortisol, you know. So you need a good lifestyle, you know. You need to be. You don't have to be a vegan in order to have good testosterone, you know. So you need to eat animal fat, zinc, stuff like that, like we said in the previous episode. But it's less likely. Now, it can happen, but it's rare.
So test boosters, right? There's a lot of them on the market, and people have opposing points of views when it comes to that. What is your opinion on test boosters over the counter?
Well, as a doctor, I believe in medication. So HEG, clomiphene, tamoxifen for the HPDA, you know. Now, then we can accompany some elements like zinc, as I said in the other episode, D-aspartic acid, maca, fenugreek, or tribulus terrestris. Personally, I've used all of them in combination, and it was a very slight improvement, you know. So it cost me a lot of money, but they were not so promising. Vitamin D also, when it's low to hypogonadic men, if it elevates the steroid, it can help you to kick your own production. But I think, yeah, they're like snake oil, you know, they're very promising. I believe Father Time will heal you, so stay out of the gear in order to recover a healthy lifestyle, you know. But the next time you're going to enter to the cycle, you're going to switch off your own production, and this is the vanity thing, you know, the on and off.
What can you tell me about TRT, which is obviously, you know, TRT is a legal steroid you can get from a doctor if you're low in testosterone, right?
Yeah, TRT is not a wave. Actually, TRT is a treatment to a disease that's not treated. So hypogonadism has to be diagnosed. But many people that believe that it's funny to use testosterone for the rest of your life. However, if you have already production, you're going to shut it off. So this is for life, you have to know. You cannot get off from TRT simply because you don't produce. And even if you produce and you want to use testosterone, you're going to suppress this. So after a while, you're going to become hypogonadic. You cannot recover. So you have to consider this is a lifetime situation, and you have to be responsible of starting, and simply because you cannot use without testosterone. If you stop taking testosterone, I've tried it for 1 month in order my hematocrit to go down, I felt drained, like my batteries were off. Not only sex drive.
When you took the shot?
No, I stopped it on purpose during the first quarantine in order for my hemoglobin hematocrit to go down. And besides, we're locked in at home, no sex, no socializing, and no training. So, yeah, I did it on purpose. You know what? I started creating visceral fat. My insulin resistance went up. I had slight depression. I looked flabby, of course. Yeah, so as long as you get testosterone, you cannot stop it. It's healthy as long as you do it properly. But it's not something trendy that, we go on and off. No, it's for life. To a disease that's not curable.
So you can't just get, like, let's say, an occasional shot of testosterone. Let's say you had a bad half a year, you were stressed out.
You can do small cycles. These are called small cycles, on and off for a prolonged period of time. You have to know that when the party is over, then you have to recover, to stand on your feet, to be on your own, to produce. And this is the hard part. When you use testosterone, we have the homeostasis. So the organism, the system tells you, giving me testosterone, I'm going to go to bed and sleep, and my balls are going to shrink and not produce any more testosterone. So the problem arises when you stop using testosterone, that you have to bring up your own hormones, your own endogenous production, okay? And it takes time. It's not just pressing buttons. I'm using HCG, SERMs, and stuff like that, You need also, the broad science says, as long as you are into the use, you need equal amount of time in order to recover.
So you can't do like a booster shot and then your natural testosterone start producing again.
No way. This is the opposite. When you use exogenous, you shut off. The same happens with thyroid, with cortisone. So there's a balance, When you use exogenous, you block your endogenous production.
Because I hear a lot of anti-aging clinics, for example, right? They offer, like, you can just go in there, right, and they give you a shot of testosterone, right? Like, I mean,
they give you a shot of testosterone,
right.
Okay, your levels go sky high, but after a while, 2, 3, or 4 weeks, they're gonna go down. Again, of course, yes. You need again to give the dose, no? So these levels are artificial. They are the testosterone that you inject. They're not your own levels, Your own production is being suppressed.
So how do you, okay, so let's say you don't want to be on the injection for the rest of your life. How can you jumpstart your own testosterone again?
So you have to take off. If you're using some slow ester, you need to wait in order these things to clear your system. N-hydroxypionate take a longer period of time, unlike propionate suspension. And after that, you need to kick the balls with HCG for a brief period of time with moderate doses. And
what is that exactly? Is that injection also?
Yeah, injection subcutaneous to the stomach. And after this, you need to follow the SERMs in low dose, okay? That will kick the brain, that in turn will kick the balls. So both HCG and SERMs work for the same result, but through different pathways. And then, of course, this will take a couple of weeks. And after that, you need also a long period of time for your body to rest and recover, So you give the stimulus, and then you wait, until you recover. You need to take those supplements, the boosters that we said, to eat early, to do brief sessions of training, don't overtrain. Okay, you can produce some lactate because it elevates the testosterone. You can use some creatine, but you need time, of course. And all things will be ruined as soon as you inject again.
So you mentioned that you got off TRT, right, during the quarantine in the beginning.
Yeah, just for 4 weeks, it was horrible.
So you would never do it again?
No, man, no. I wanted to test myself, so I want to walk the talk. And I want to do it on purpose because I wanted my hemoglobin to go down because I was tired of phlebotomy. My veins were toasted. So, yes, you cannot feel this drained feeling that your bodies are empty. You cannot go on, depressed. You cannot walk the stairs, Your midsection looks flabby, your A1C goes up. You're depressed. And this creates metabolic issues afterwards, diabetes, dyslipidemia, and things like that, like with people with low testosterone.
So are there any negative side effects you can think of from just getting regular TRT at a doctor? Anything you can develop?
Yeah, sure. Now, the classic thing is because testosterone treats anemia, obviously, the flip side of the coin would be to have too much of blood. It doesn't happen to everybody. It happens also to bodybuilders that smoke and have sleep apnea because they choke in their sleep because they have huge neck. The other thing is abusing of testosterone, a lot of it will perhaps slightly elevate lower HDL. Now depends how clean you eat, if you're predisposed, if you sleep, and if you take daily cardio. You have to balance your estrogens, even though there's a wave of anti-aromatase inhibitors. People, but I believe you need to balance your estrogens because elevated estrogens will mess up with your mood, will induce clotting. You know, there are some facts say that elevated estrogens can proliferate the cancer cells of the prostate. So the prostatic cancer is not exclusively dependent on androgens, but also estrogens. And also they can give you gynecomastia, you know, when the ratio between testosterone and estrogen is messed up. Also, other thing is the blood pressure, you know, and the PSA. You need to start with a PSA below 4, you know, because after that is a critical point of PSA and BPH, prostatic hypertrophy. But if you do it under optimization and the guidance of a physician, then there's no problem with that.